I will actually start the video with motivation. I'll tell you why. Because time is a crisis, and it should be at your stage of preparation. So you might not have the time to watch my whole video. There are people on YouTube making real good content regarding NEETPG. So whether let it be the previous year recalls, if questions which are the topics which are more important, and things like that. So, for a person like me who has appeared for the exam 3 years back, I will obviously post content. I will share with you my journey. But I would ask you not to waste time watching my video. If you feel that you have only 10 minutes to spare, go and watch video of tutors from various platforms, because they are doing it day in and day out. They know the trend. They are analyzing the pattern. So instead of watching my video, if you want to know the important topics, the things that you should not be missing out, the last day, the 15th book and stuff, go and watch their videos on YouTube. I'm not going to ruin your day and waste your time just for my views. But if you want motivation, if you want a real story, if you want to spend 10 minutes knowing that it was equally difficult for a person like me, and eventually I emerged victorious, I got the result that I wanted, I got into my dream college, and if you want motivation, this is me. So with that, I would like to start the video. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Dr. Anushka, currently working as a senior resident in the Department of Gynae and Obstetrics at a government medical college in Calcutta. And today I would be sharing with you my experience, my NEETPG journey. Now, if you have been watching me for a while now, you would be knowing and being familiar with this setup. I used to film here a long time back. So this time around, when I'm again trying to get back to my YouTube spirit, I really hope that you appreciate me and you try and be by my side, and you give me and shower me with all the love exactly the way you did around 3 years back. Because I think the kind of support, the energy boost that I got from your end during that time was unparalleled. So I really hope that this time also I get the same amount of love from your end. So do consider subscribing if you feel and if you want to appreciate and be a part of my journey. Now, first things first, as I always say, that if you want to kind of achieve something big, you have to start with small steps. So I always like to break down things into pieces and then start analyzing. So the first topic in this video would be slight information. The second would be a schedule. The third would be your daily routine, how you can plan things for yourself. And the fourth would be the motivation bit and some tidbits from my end. Now, starting with the information bit. Obviously, as your exam will be conducted on the 3rd of August, a few days before that, you have to be well aware of your exam center. And obviously, download your admit card beforehand. Make sure that you don't keep the printing and the preparing the documents that you would need on the day of the exam for the last day, because that day you need to be calm. The day before of the exam, you can't really get carried away with these logistical things. You have to make sure that at least 3 to 4 days before the day of the exam, you have everything sorted. Results will be declared around a month after. So honestly, you have time, and those 4 weeks I would insist that you don't think about anything. No recalls, no asking your friends. The only thing that you should be doing is basically relaxing, because once you get into residency, relaxing would be a very rare incident in your life. Now, to begin with, the schedule. It's very important to be very structured when you are appearing for an exam like NEETPG, because the subjects, as you know, are so many. Right? So if I were in your shoes, I would have liked to divide approximately these 4 weeks into a 2-week segment, a 1-week segment, and another 1-week segment. So in this first segment, or the segment A, you should try and thoroughly read and revise whatever notes you have. If you feel that you are maybe lagging on revising or understanding a particular topic of that subject. So say first day you start with anatomy. So you're starting with anatomy, and while you're reading anatomy, there are few things, especially for me, like the pelvic anatomy. It was something that was very difficult. Maybe a bit of the neural anatomy, the brain anatomy was a bit difficult. So I would try and spend an extra 15-20 minutes to learn that in depth. Because what I have realized over the last few years after appearing for so many exams is that if you mug up stuff which you can understand and visualize, you actually would forget it the day of the exam. If there are values, if it's like percentages or incidence in prevalence and stuff like that, then obviously you have to mug it up. But if you feel that it is a topic which kind of demands a bit of understanding, then you should rethink and try and understand it. And this is the first segment that should be allotted for that good understanding. After that, you should actually try and solve MCQs completely based on that very topic. So if you are say studying anatomy on day one, first thing you should do is solve around 100-150 MCQs, if not more, only for anatomy. The next day you will go on to the next subject, study the subject, again do MCQs on that particular subject. Now coming to the segment 2, which I think for you should be around 21st July onwards. That basically would be for you to do the leftovers, for you to kind of do one or appear for one GT, grand test, every single day and analyze the grand test. That will take around say 4 hours minimum of your day, and the remaining time you should actually invest in doing the previous year questions, at least last 3 years if not more. You know, the NICT, the NEETPG, trust me when I say that, you just go through the question. Even if you're getting it wrong, don't worry, just make sure that you know the answer or the explanation. Trust me, there are people who believe in asking and repeating questions, at least a few. The reason being, they consider few topics to be relevant, to be important, and those topics are repeated. So make sure that you don't get those wrong. Now coming to the final segment C, the last 7 days, which will be around 29 July onwards, you would try and appear for 1 to 2, max 3 GTs, not more than that. I'll tell you why. Because this is the time that you should actually work on things where you went wrong. So all the MCQs that you did over the last 3 weeks, you should try and make a chotu copy or keep screenshots. What I used to do is that writing thing takes a lot of time. So whenever I'll do solve MCQs, I'll make sure that I click a picture of that and keep it aside in a separate folder, preferably kind of subject coordinated. And this is the time, the last 3-4 days, that you should actually go through all the explanations to make sure that you don't repeat the same mistakes on the day of the exam. Now coming to the daily part. Now every day at least 8 to 10 hours you have to invest in studying. Irrespective of whether you are working, whether you are an intern or you have taken a drop year to study, at least 8 to 10 hours of your day you should invest in studying. Because I have realized one thing, that smart work can never compensate for hard work. You have to put in hours to get the result. So coming to the final segment of my video, I think it is very important for you to realize that every single question carries the same weightage. So don't waste time solving a very difficult question, a very lengthy question, when you have tons of easier questions waiting for you to get answered. I don't think it's a very smart choice. It is just going to satisfy your ego. That's about it. The next thing which I feel is very important is that for you to understand that this is not the end of the world. I'm not saying it because I have cleared the exam. But trust me, when you get into residency, you'll realize life is tougher as you go ahead. Your journey will only be difficult. This is just a part of your journey. Yes, if you qualify the exam, you're going to be a resident, you're going to be a specialist doctor, practicing things that you've always dreamt of. Life is going to be really, really beautiful, but difficult. Don't get me wrong, but don't ever try and target rank number 1 if you are a mediocre student like me. I'll be very honest with you. No matter whether you are rank number 1 or rank number 50, the chances of you getting into a same college is almost the same. What matters or what is different is the fact that if you are rank number 1, it is your call. You have the power to choose that this college I want to get into with this stream. I want to pursue this career. So if your rank is in the lower or the in the last or it's not that good, then obviously you don't have that power to choose. So that is the only difference. So if you're watching people their videos of single digit rankers and their strategies. If you are following, it might not work for you always. So make sure that you apply things which are the best suited for you, so that you can be the best version of yourself.